Today's news, dating abuse on rise in South Korea.
This story is from an article published in the Korean Herald on July 4th, so it is recent, and it covers dating abuse and physical violence against partners in South Korea and some statistics that go along with that.
Both men and women, because the wording used is partners and not just men.
Comments your experience with dating a Korean or dating in Korea, or if you would like to go to Korea and date. I suppose there's some of you that are watching this that are hoping to do that. Dating is just so it is one of the things that everyone who is young and who is interested in Korea is also interested in. One of the main things that you're interested in, I find. Something like 8,000 cases were reported in 2015. Is that number correct?
8,367 cases of physical violence against a partner were reported.
And it was up 8.8% from the previous year, so it looks like dating abuse is on the rise, or reporting of dating abuse is on the rise.
The same year, there were 305,957 cases of physical assault. So out of all of the cases of physical assault, a small portion of that were physical violence in a domestic dating or marital relationship. Out of those 8,367 cases, 37.7% of those people had no previous criminal record. Other important statistics to note were 233 people were murdered over the course of 5 years, which equivalates to about 46 people per year in South Korea die because of domestic violence.
Even though that's 46 too many per year, that number seems quite low to me.
That's 46 too many.
That's what I said. That's how I started my phrase. It's 46 too many, but it still seems very low. When you consider South Korea is over 50 million people, 46 people dying from dating is 46 too many, but it doesn't seem like that many. I don't know about you, but for me, it is so old school over there still, and yet some of the customs are so different from here. Megan recently made a video about dating or some of the tips. She makes a lot of good points. One of the main things is they're gonna contact you immediately by text message, Kakao, versus here you play the game, how many days do you wait to let them know that you're not too interested? It's the opposite there. People know you're interested right away, so it's great, but then it ends up being too much, you end up getting drained early. If you're someone who's interested in that, then of course you're gonna be so open to that idea.
Well, I think for me, what I've noticed more than anything is people who are interested have this mindset, this rosy glasses mindset of thinking that everything is perfect, or that Korean guys are perfect, or Korean women are perfect, and they have this hyper realization. No, that's not the right word. They have this imagination, this fantasy of their imagination that everything is rosy and perfect, and really it's not. That's not to say that things aren't troublesome and problematic elsewhere in the world, because dating violence and domestic violence is a universal problem. But what we're getting at is it exists in Korea as well.
If I had to guess, there are probably two main reasons, or two of many reasons, that I'd like to talk about here. Why violence might come up, maybe men against women, but of course it could be either way. One is the drinking. There's too much drinking over there, and part of the reason why there's so much drinking going on a Wednesday night or Thursday night, of course on the weekends, is because people are so busy with work or with school or with both. In some cases, both. People work 50, 60, 70 hours a week. The majority of people are working 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. late into the evening, and they can't go home until their boss lets them go home, or until their boss leaves, and then they can all leave. And there's just so much pressure on you to continue to hold your feelings down and show up for work, and then get plastered because you're so stressed from work. So these two things make it so it is not a fantasy. It is very realistic that people are overworked and overstressed. And this is something that isn't portrayed as accurately as it could be in dramas, for instance.
Well, people are overworked, people are overstressed. There's also a significant lack of mental health care in South Korea, and until recently, seeing counseling, getting therapy was not actually a good idea. People could actually be let go from jobs if they had this on their health records.
Well, this is why I say 46 seems low, because if you take those two things and then the everything that you just said. Those three things are all major factors in people misbehaving extremely, which could result in murder. And that's why I'm saying 46 seems so low. People seem to really know how to behave there. I feel like here behavior is getting out of control. No one can be nice to each other anymore. Everyone just seems to be suffering internally. They are over there, but they're somehow stronger. I don't know, it's culturally pounded into you to be well behaved.
There are a lot of warning signs for dangerous relationships that could lead to abuse, including obsessive control, which is something that you actually do see a lot in Korean relationships.
I think this is all over the world though.
Extreme jealousy, unpredictability, bad temper, they control finances, they control appearances, they treat animals and others poorly, verbal abuse, blaming violence, anger, stress on the partner, on a bad day, on drinking, things like that, demeaning you in private or in front of other people's, and just generally being suspicious.
Comments, your reaction to some of those statistics published in that article?
Do you have any experience with this? Is this something that you know somebody who has experience with this? It's scary stuff, y'all. Scary stuff.
Click the like button. Thank you so much for supporting us. Click the bell for notifications. Check out the link to Kegel, top of the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more Hallyu Back news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.